In the secluded town of Winslow, the old Crescent Hill Asylum loomed like a sentinel of despair. Its crumbling walls, shrouded in ivy and shadow, seemed to watch the town with unblinking eyes. Generations of whispers told of the asylum's dark history, disappearances, ghostly whispers, and a peculiar chill that seemed to emanate from its gates, even in the heat of summer. Emma Calloway, a beloved schoolteacher and lifelong resident of Winslow, was a pillar of her community. Known for her sharp mind and compassionate heart, Emma had always dismissed the asylum's legends as nothing more than folklore. But as the first crisp winds of autumn swept through Winslow, a palpable unease crept into the air. Animals vanished without a trace. Strange symbols appeared etched into tree trunks, and her student Liam began to draw unsettling figures in his notebook. Shadowy forms with featureless faces. He whispered cryptic warnings about the hollow ones, claiming they would soon awaken. Emma's own connection to Crescent Hill was one she preferred to forget. Her great-uncle, Dr. Gideon Calloway, had been the asylum's last superintendent. Family rumors hinted at his obsession with the occult and his descent into madness. Yet, Emma had long dismissed these stories as exaggerated tales meant to frighten children. One October evening, Emma passed the asylum on her way home. As she neared its rusted gates, a low hum filled the air and the temperature plummeted. She froze as a fleeting shadow crossed a window on the top floor. The asylum had been abandoned for decades. Against her better judgment, Emma stepped closer, feeling an inexplicable pull toward the decaying structure. But a sudden gust of wind rattled the gates, breaking the spell and sending her hurrying home. The next morning, Winslow woke to grim news. Harold, the local baker, had vanished overnight. His shop stood eerily untouched, a tray of unbaked bread left on the counter. Emma, driven by a growing sense of foreboding, delved into the library archives. Among dusty tomes, she discovered a journal belonging to her great-uncle. The entries chronicled ghastly experiments, rituals designed to summon ancient entities from another realm. These beings, referred to as the Hollow Ones, required sacrifices to tether them to the mortal plane. The journal's final entry was chilling. The vessel is chosen. The gate will open. As Halloween approached, Winslow descended into chaos. At the annual festival, Harold stumbled into the square, disheveled and incoherent. His eyes were glassy, his voice a monotone as he repeated a single phrase. They come with hollow faces. They come to feed. That night, Liam disappeared. Emma could no longer ignore the asylum's call. Clutching a flashlight and her great-uncle's journal, she ventured inside. The air was heavy with decay, the walls damp and pulsating with an almost organic quality. Faint whispers surrounded her, growing louder as she moved deeper into the labyrinthine halls. Emma felt an oppressive presence, as though the asylum itself were alive and watching. In a room untouched by time, she found Liam. He stood at the center of a circle of candles, surrounded by towering spectral figures, the Hollow Ones. Their faces were voids, their gaping eyes consuming the light. Emma's heart raced as she called out to him, but he remained unresponsive. The Hollow Ones turned their empty gazes toward her, and the room began to quake. Emma's mind raced, recalling the incantations from her great-uncle's journal. With trembling hands, she recited the words, her voice shaking but resolute. The figures screeched, their forms distorting and collapsing into shadows. The candles extinguished themselves, plunging the room into darkness. When the tremors subsided, Liam lay unconscious but alive. Emma carried him out, her relief tempered by the ominous sense that the asylum was far from defeated. The next morning, Liam awoke with no memory of the ordeal. Harold, however, remained catatonic, muttering phrases in a language no one recognized. Winslow's unease only deepened. That night, as Emma passed Crescent Hill, the familiar hum returned. Glancing up, she saw a shadow move across the top-floor window. A voice, low and resonant, echoed in her mind. "You were always meant to be here." The asylum's shadow over Winslow grew darker, its whispers louder. Emma realized she hadn't banished the Hollow Ones. She had only delayed their awakening. And this time, they would be waiting for her.